Hey everybody, so real quick, thank you for your prayers in this journey. Thank you to those who have donated to my GoFundMe for the initial rotator cuff surgery. So, just an update today, I met with the surgeon. So, we talked about a lot of things, and before we begin actual surgical processes, he wants to put me on like this medical trial, okay, for about 2 months. So the medical trial consists of having cortisone shots. Um, so he wants to start doing cortisone shots directly into the shoulder. Uh, and then 3 weeks will go by, and then I have to get another one, and then just a series like that. So for each cortisone shot, they are $500 each. So I have a GoFundMe campaign going. I initially started that campaign out at 45,000 because that's what I would have needed to cover the processes after having the actual rotator cuff surgery. But he wants to put the surgery on hold to put me in this medical trial first before we approach surgery. He thinks that the medical trial may be the answer to the issue. But again, it is a medical trial, so we're trying it out to see how my shoulder reacts after a couple of series of the cortisone shots. And at a certain point, if my arm is not functioning properly, then we'll proceed with the actual rotator cuff surgery. So if that happens, if the plan B happens, needing surgery, then I'll go back and update the GoFundMe page again, and I'll put it back at the $45,000 cap. Right now, I have lowered the cap on the GoFundMe page to three. It was at $3,500, and that's to give me 7 cortisone shots at $500 each, which is $3,500. I have had a wonderful, gracious donor who has donated $500, and so that $500 was used for today's cortisone shot. So, when I met with the surgeon, he gave me the first shot. Let's see. He gave me the first shot today there. So he puts the needle from behind, and then it enters into the muscle. This is where my rotator cuff is torn across the shoulder. It's like a partial tear. It's like right here. So he put the lidocaine in first, and then put the cortisone in, and so he's saying like it's gonna take a couple of days for it to really kick in. He's like, but it's gonna hurt, and right now it definitely is. My arm feels really heavy. I'm trying not to really move it much. He was like, let the arm rest. When you need to, put it inside the sling. Let it be out of the sling at times. And to just keep doing your normal life things, just with precaution. Just be safe. Don't lift anything over 10 pounds, while you're in the medical trial. Just take it easy, but still continue your normal life. We talked about like some things, hobbies and things that I had before the car accident. He was like, just continue those hobbies. Just be safe while you're doing it. So if you like he knows that I like football, and I like to go out to dinner and things like that. He was like, still continue to do those things. Still continue to walk and everything. And then we talked about the concussion a little bit, and he was like, yeah, you definitely have to stay active, especially with that concussion, because you want to keep the body healthy, for the brain, and, staying healthy for if I do need to have surgery. It's better to have the muscles kind of working and moving and doing. That way recovery will be faster. That segues into the surgery. If I needed the surgery, he told me that when I took my jacket, that was my first time meeting him. So if you can see, you see this long scar here, and then I have one here, and then I have another one back here. So I had 3 previous rotator cuff surgeries. And so that was back in 2018. If you all remember, for those of you who know me, I got caught in a snowstorm with my students. And I was trying to get them back into the school building. And so I started shoveling the snow in front of a blocked doorway. And I ended up tearing my rotator cuff in 3 places. And I was out of work for like 26 months. That was back in 2018. I kind of partially recovered from that. For those of you who know me, or for those of you who are playing catch up, that was a long journey. Again, going back to the scars here, he told me, he was like, yeah, he was like, we don't even do the surgeries like that anymore. He said, if we get to plan B and we have to give you surgery, he was like, this time we won't cut you like that, because I had like staples from here all the way down here to close it up, and you know, it was a hot mess. And he was like, yeah, so he was like, we don't do surgery like that anymore for the rotator cuff. We would just use a camera and go inside the arm, up, and then to work on the tear here. So, and then he said, and because of the new way that they do rotator cuff surgeries, the recovery time is a lot sooner. Remember, I told you, I tore my rotator cuff in 2018, and I was out of work for like 26 months because I had 3 rotator surgeries. He told me this time, he was like, yeah, he's like, if we have to do rotator cuff surgery, which is something that we'll look at down the road if the medical trial of the cortisone shots don't work, the recovery time for this newer modern surgery that we do now to repair rotator cuff tears, he said you would probably be out of work for about 4 to 6 months. He was like, that's 6 months, probably minimum with your physical therapy and all that kind of stuff. So 6 months sounds better than 26 months, right? Which that's kind of doable if that has to happen. I am fairly relieved that surgery is a second option and not the initial option. Again, I'm getting some really great medical care. There are just some things that I have to pay for out of pocket that's kind of driving me a little nuts, but we got to do what we got to do, right? So again, I lowered the cap on the GoFundMe page, and it is now at $3,500, okay? And that's to give me 7 more cortisone shots. So I had number 1 today. So there are 6 more shots that are needed, okay? And it's gonna be, we're gonna start out with the 2-month trial first. And then if it looks like it's working, then we'll start to add more and more shots. So I just put it at a $3,500 cap for right now. So I have the first $500 already. I used that today. So the shots are actually $427, okay, each shot. So I just capped it out at $500, but they're $427 for each shot. So I need your assistance with that. Every penny helps. And I'm in great spirits for the most part. I just got a lot going on in my head right now because I'm not out of the woods yet, okay? This is just a 3-week Band-Aid, so to speak, right? A 3-week Band-Aid on the real issue. I'm hopeful that the cortisone shots will work, but I also have to be realistic too, to kind of prepare ahead if they don't work. Okay, so I thank you all for being here. Please support me. Visit my GoFundMe page. And again, I'll see you guys on the other side of whatever all this is, okay? Have an amazing week. All right, thanks. Bye.